Hey everyone, Caleb from Antique Book Collective, obviously, and today I'm getting to you guys with another BOLO video. So guys, this BOLO is actually not about this specific book, but there is some really good information about this book that is a good BOLO for you guys to keep your eyes out for. So guys, this book came from the same Christian college that I got a lot of the other books, including the Septuagint and Syriac Bibles that I talked about with you guys in another BOLO video. But this book right here is Rays of Hope. So guys, this book is a really cool one. I just sold it. I was asking $45. It ended up selling for $32.50. That was from an offer that I sent out. I had gotten several offers since I listed this one. I listed this one back in June of last year. So this is actually a little bit less time than what a lot of the times my average is for selling my books. Because remember guys, I said that on average my books will sell after about a year and a half. I have plenty of books that sell before, but I have enough books that sell after that amount of time that it does bring down the average to being about a year and a half that a lot of things sit on my shelves. With that said though guys, I'm just going to show you guys the title page right here, and I actually have a little bit of a quiz for you guys. So I already said that the title of this book is not really the thing that I'm into for the BOLO for this video, but there is something else on this title page that I'm challenging you guys to guess is the magic bullet. So there that is right there. So first off, as I already was talking about before with this book, it's a really cool one, and it's from that one college. Something else that I think is cool is it's got like a little bit of glitter in the thing. But this book, it's not going to be the really valuable thing because of how old it is. Guys, this book, as you guys saw, is from 1909. It's not the oldest book out there by any stretch of the imagination. But you guys do know, if you've been watching my channel, you do know that I like the books that are from the early 1900s, but particularly the late 1800s that are Christian books. This book right here is a Christian book. So it's right up my wheelhouse of things that I'm really into and that I have a lot of luck selling on my eBay page. However, it's not necessarily the thing. Okay, so if it's not the specific age, is there something about the book itself, like its makeup, that sort of thing? So guys, there's actually this dude that, I can't recall his name off the top of my head, but there's a dude that has his own YouTube channel. Recommend you guys poke around and try to find him. But he was actually doing a BOLO video of his own, I don't know, it was a year or two ago that I saw the thing, and he was talking about how he actually finds some books and takes them apart, or finds ones that are falling apart already, and actually looks at the material that the book was built with, because back in the day they actually were reusing a lot of pieces of other books in books. So let's say for the spine, you guys know how the spine is a little bit stiff, like it's not necessarily always attached to the text block, but like when it's separate from the text block and it's a little bit stiff, that it's actually a little bit stiff because they, instead of using the hard book board itself, which is what we're used to here, they actually use like folded up paper, and that folded up paper usually came from other books. So these other books, in the case of this one guy, was actually a Gutenberg Bible, which is pretty stinking cool. Personally for me, I've never found something that cool as the backing for the spines and other pieces of the books that they've used as scrap pieces. But I have found some cool things, and it's fun because with Google and other internet sites, you're actually able to like take an excerpt of what you can see right there. So let's say I can see Mary had a little lamb, and I have like that much of a sentence. You can actually do quotation marks around that and then put it into a Google search, and then you can actually see if there are any records of this specific book, because a lot of books nowadays, I can't recall the exact thing, but I believe on Google they have a specific thing that actually has it, so you can look at a whole bunch of public domain books for free, and even they have some books that aren't public domain yet that you can check out. If you do the quotation mark thing, it can actually search those books for the specific line that you put in. You can actually potentially find what that book came from. I've been able to do that a few times with a few books, but by and large, most of the time I end up coming up and empty-handed, which is a little bit of a bummer, but sometimes the little scraps of the paper that you can see actually has the title at the top of the page. You know how they sometimes have the title at the top of the page? So for example, right here, Rays of Hope right at the top of the page. You see that a lot with books throughout the ages, so sometimes you can see the title of a book in that little bit, which is cool, but that is not the reason why this book was cool. That's not why this book is being a BOLO book. So if it's not the age, it's not the what it's made out of, if it's not the title, okay, what could it be? Could it be the author? Well, D.O. Teasley, I believe I have heard of him, so he's not a nobody, but it's not about the author. It says right here that he is the author of The Holy Spirit and Other Spirits, Private Lectures to Mothers and Daughters, and Private Lectures to Men and Boys. Now that I say the Private Lectures to Mothers and Daughters, I think I might have actually sold that book before, which is sort of funny. Maybe that's why I know the guy's name, but it's not the author, so let's see. It's not the title. Let me just say right now, it's not the subject matter itself, even though I do have a lot of luck with Christian stuff, that sort of stuff. It's not just because it's a book about Christian encouragement. It's not the author. It's not the year. It's not what the book's made of. So that means we got one last thing that I showed you, and that's right here at the bottom. So guys, right here at the bottom, it says Gospel Trumpet Company. So the Gospel Trumpet Company is a publishing arm of a certain part of Christianity that comes from Anderson, Indiana. For those of you guys that know anything about Christianity, you know that Anderson, Indiana is actually the home of the Anderson Church of God. There are a couple, I think it's just two branches of the Church of God. I don't recall off the top of my head, so sorry guys for those of you that are in the Church of God. I am not Church of God. I think my current church is non-denominational. I don't know. I don't really keep track. It's not that important to me, but there are a lot of people that their sect of Christianity is really important to them. So my apologies for not knowing everything about all of them. There are a lot. But with that said, it's really cool because these Gospel Trumpet Companies, Gospel Trumpet Company books, there we go, have actually done very well for me for selling. So this book, guys, right here, again, I was asking $45 for it. It sold for $32, 50 cents, I believe. I did have some lowball offers on this particular book that I denied, and was just like, I'm not doing that. I want to get something that I actually want for this book. I can't recall. Actually, I can recall it. It's right on my sticky note of notes. It's fun, guys. I've mentioned this in other videos. When I get my books, I like to write the title and the year that the book came from. Sometimes some other relevant information for it. I like to write what I paid for the book, what I'm asking, and then I will put in the box that I like to ship them out in. So this one here says Indie. I have different names for all the different size boxes that I use. So Indie, excuse me, Indie is just this little one right here, which fits in my mailbox. I actually need to rush and finish this video so I can get it out in the mail. I got a new mailman who shows up early and on time. It's really awesome, but it's also a little bit annoying because now I have to get out a little bit earlier and get these things shipped. But this particular book, it also is going to be shipping out at about £1, and I also write down the time that I actually listed this thing so I can keep track of how long I've had a particular thing listed, because guys, let's face it, eBay is not necessarily the best at keeping all of our information about books that we list on its site. In fact, I'm sure a lot of you know that eBay has a tendency to actually delete some listings after a certain amount of time, which is frustrating as all get out, because for me, I've been doing this business for several years, and I find a book, I'm like, oh, I wonder why this book hasn't sold. Let me check it out on eBay, see how many views it has, and it doesn't have any views because it's not on my eBay site anymore, even though I listed it. And I'm like, oh, thanks eBay. But with that said, this book right here, the Church of God book, a lot of these Anderson Church of God books from the Gospel Trumpet Company have actually sold pretty well for me. So this one, guys, was not one of them. It only $32, which is a good multiple. I paid $1 for the book, so that's a good multiple on my money. But it's not the most valuable one of these books. I had a lot of luck selling other Church of God books from the Gospel Trumpet Company that sold for, I want to say 160 might have been the high end. I can't recall off the top of my head, but I want to say it was somewhere around there. And I sold, I had a stack of just like paper pamphlets that were all Gospel Trumpet Company ones. I got a stack of all these different books from this one publisher that all did very, very well for me. So I would recommend keeping an eye out for this. Not the title, not the author, but the actual publishing company. And that's something, guys, for you when you're doing your business. You need to know that it's not just the title of a book. It's not just the author of a book. Sometimes the publisher itself can be where the value is derived for a book. It's not going to guarantee that everything from that publisher is valuable. In the case of this book, it took a while to sell, so that might not be what all you guys are into. But it is definitely a publisher to keep an eye out for, because you guys might have something that is quite valuable that comes from them. So keep that in mind, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to comment what publishers you guys find a lot of stuff that's really good from. Like a lot of people like the Easton Press books. I actually have an estate sale that I really want to hit this weekend, cough cough, that has a lot of those books, so I'm excited for that. Hope they still have those by the time I go. I'm not going to go on opening day because they want full price that day. The next day is half off, so I might go, or the third day it should be half off or make an offer or a bag sale. So I'll probably go that third day and just cross my fingers that they still have them. It's far enough outside of town that I don't expect a lot of competition, so fingers crossed, we'll see. But with that said and done though, guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you guys want to see more stuff from my channel, be sure to check out these ones right here. In fact, I have a video that I really want you guys to check out here because it's not getting all the love I want it to get. It's about oiling your books, so be sure to check that one out. Obviously, books like this do not need oiled, but your leather books do need oiled. So with that said and done, be sure to check that video out. Be sure to subscribe. You can do it there or down there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.